What if your entire understanding of reality was about to shatter? What if the spiritual journey isn't a gentle climb, but a series of intense trials most people can't survive? In the next few minutes, you'll discover the 5 stages of spiritual awakening and why a staggering 90% quit before they ever reach the truth. Plus, I'll reveal the hidden doorway that opens at stage 3 and what happens when you step through it. You're not ready for what's coming. Most people think spiritual awakening is about feeling good. It's about crystals and meditation and positive vibes. But that's just the surface. The real journey is much, much harder. Ancient texts whisper about these stages. They knew something we've forgotten. They called it the Great Work. It's a path paved with illusions and tests. Most people have no idea how deep this goes. You might be on this path already and not even know it. This information was almost lost. It's been hidden in plain sight for centuries. Let's start with stage 1. It's called the awakening. This is when the first cracks appear. You start questioning everything: your job, your relationships, your beliefs. You feel a persistent unease, a sense that something is fundamentally wrong with the world. You might start reading books about spirituality. You're looking for answers. You feel a pull towards something more. It's like waking up from a long dream. You see the world differently now. You can't unsee it. Picture this. You're walking through a crowded city street, maybe New York City, back in 2018. The noise is deafening. People rush past, their faces blank. But suddenly you feel utterly detached. You see the scene as if from above. The people are like ants, scurrying along. The buildings loom like giants. You feel a profound sense of loneliness, but also clarity. You realize you don't belong in this matrix. This is the first moment the veil thins. You're starting to see behind the curtain. This stage often begins with a trigger. It could be a loss, a near-death experience, or just a deep existential crisis. You start seeking meaning. You might try different spiritual practices: yoga, meditation, journaling. You're trying to find your footing. But the old world feels fake. You can't go back to sleep. This is normal. You're not crazy for thinking this. Your body already knows this is happening. It's a profound shift. Now, let's talk about the first story. Her name was Eleanor. She lived in a small town in Vermont. It was around 1995. Eleanor was a librarian. She lived a quiet life. Then, her husband passed away suddenly. She was devastated. But in her grief, something shifted. She started having vivid dreams. She saw symbols she didn't recognize. She felt a presence in her home. She began researching ancient cultures. She felt drawn to them. She told her sister, "I feel like I'm waking up, but it's terrifying." Her sister thought she was in denial. Eleanor felt isolated. This is common in stage 1. You feel alone on this new path. But that's not even the strangest part. This awakening isn't always pleasant. It can be jarring. It can feel like your world is falling apart. That's because, in a way, it is. The old ego structure is dissolving. This is where the 90% start to falter. They want the good feelings, but they can't handle the breakdown. They want the light, but not the shadow. Stop. Think about this. You're not just awakening to good things. You're awakening to everything. The light and the dark. The beauty and the chaos. Most people can't reconcile that. They retreat back to comfort. Back to denial. This is the first major turning point. The point where the path diverges for most. Stage 2 is called the purification. This is where things get intense. Your old patterns and beliefs are challenged. Your shadow self emerges. You confront your fears, your insecurities, your past traumas. It's like a spiritual detox. Everything that isn't aligned with your higher self is brought to the surface. This can manifest as emotional outbursts, anxiety, or even physical symptoms. Your body is releasing old energy. Imagine you're meditating in your living room. The lighting is dim, maybe just a few lamps. You focus on your breath. Suddenly, a wave of anger surges through you. Anger you didn't know you had. It's intense, almost primal. You want to lash out. You feel tears welling up. You don't understand why. This is your shadow self demanding attention. It's raw. It's powerful. You feel the energy vibrating in your chest. It feels like a storm brewing inside you. This is purification. This is where documented cases become crucial. Take the story of Mark. He was a software engineer in Seattle, Washington. Around 2010, he experienced a profound spiritual awakening. After a period of intense stress at work, he started having uncontrollable crying spells. He'd wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, reliving past failures. He felt immense guilt. He'd never been an overtly emotional person. His wife, Sarah, was concerned. She suggested therapy. Mark felt embarrassed. He thought he was losing his mind. He started isolating himself. He couldn't explain what was happening. This raw emotional release is classic stage 2. You're purging old emotional blockages. Remember this detail, it'll be important later. The intensity of the purification is often directly related to how much you've suppressed your emotions and true feelings. The more you've ignored your inner world, the more explosive the process can be. This is the truth they don't want you to know. Your repressed emotions are holding you back from your true power. They're like energetic anchors. This stage is incredibly difficult. Many people quit here. They think they're broken. They think something is wrong with them. They seek external validation, but the answers aren't out there. They're within. They need to face their inner demons. They need to accept their shadow. This is a major hurdle. Most people can't get past this emotional purging. They want peace, but they're not willing to go through the fire. Wait, let that sink in. You're not broken. You're being cleansed. You're shedding old skin. This is a necessary part of the process. Your body already knows this. It's trying to heal itself. You've probably felt this yourself. Those moments of unexplained sadness or anger. That's your system clearing out old debris. This is also where the conspiracy element often creeps in. People feel targeted by negative energies. They might believe external forces are trying to stop them. While challenging energies exist, the primary battle is internal. They don't want you to know that your own subconscious holds the keys to your liberation. The real they are your own limiting beliefs and fears. Stage 3 is the most critical. It's called the integration. This is where you start to reconcile your awakened self with your everyday life. You begin to integrate the spiritual insights into your reality. You start to understand how the universe works. You see the interconnectedness of all things. You develop new skills and perceptions. This is where the 90% quit. They can't bridge the gap between the spiritual realms and the material world. Picture this. You're sitting by a still lake at dawn. The mist is rising. The sun is just peeking over the horizon, casting a golden glow. You feel a profound sense of peace. You notice the intricate patterns on a single fallen leaf. You see the life force in the water, the trees, the air. You realize you are part of this. You feel a deep connection to nature. You can sense subtle energies. You feel the pulse of the earth beneath your feet. This is integration. You're not just observing, you're participating. This is where the forbidden knowledge comes into play. Ancient civilizations knew about this. They understood the energetic body. They had techniques to integrate spiritual awareness into daily life. Think of the yogis of ancient India. They didn't just meditate, they lived their practice. They integrated their consciousness into every action. This knowledge was almost lost during the Dark Ages. It was deliberately suppressed. They feared the power of an awakened populace. Let's look at a documented case. Dr. Evelyn Reed, a physicist in Chicago, Illinois, was working on a project in 2015. She was studying subtle energy fields. During a high-energy experiment, she experienced something extraordinary. She described it as a, quote, temporary dissolution of self. She felt connected to a universal consciousness. For a few hours, she could perceive information directly, bypassing her senses. She saw complex mathematical equations manifest as light patterns. She tried to document it scientifically, but the experience was fleeting. When she tried to replicate it, it wouldn't happen. She realized the experience wasn't about the equipment, it was about her state of consciousness. She began practicing advanced meditation techniques to try and regain that connection. She knew this was the key, but it was incredibly difficult to access at will. This is the challenge of Stage 3. You get glimpses, but mastery is elusive. This is the point where the veil is truly lifting for you. You start to see the hidden patterns. You understand the synchronicity. You realize that everything happens for a reason. You might start noticing telepathic connections with loved ones. You might have precognitive flashes. This is where your intuition becomes your primary guide. Your body already knows this, it's recalibrating. This stage can feel like you're living in two worlds, the mundane world and the energetic world. You're trying to navigate both. You might feel frustrated when others don't understand. They live in the surface reality. They have no idea what you're experiencing. This is the aha moment when you realize most people are still asleep. And the deeper implication, you are now a bridge. You can hold both realities. If you're still watching, you're probably sensing something deeper. You're starting to connect the dots. You might be experiencing some of these stages yourself. This is normal. You're not alone. The universe is communicating with you. The question is, are you listening? Now here's the mind-blowing part of Stage 3. Scientists accidentally discovered something related to this. Declassified government programs like Project Stargate, though focused on psychic abilities, hinted at the potential for consciousness to influence reality. While the mainstream dismisses it, leaked documents suggest a deeper understanding of mind-matter interaction. This is the kind of knowledge that was meant to stay hidden. They thought this was destroyed. They want to keep you focused on the material world. They don't want you to know that your mind is a powerful tool. This is where most people fail. They get a taste of expanded consciousness, but they can't ground it. They can't live it. They retreat back to the familiar. They think, this is too much. They choose comfort over evolution. They quit. They're afraid of what they might lose, not realizing they're losing themselves by not embracing the change. Stage 4 is called the illumination. This is where you achieve a deeper understanding of your purpose and your connection to the divine. You experience moments of profound clarity and bliss. Your ego is no longer in control. You operate from a place of love and service. You become a beacon of light. You understand that you are a co-creator of your reality. Imagine you're standing on a mountaintop at midnight. The sky is clear, filled with 1 billion stars. The Milky Way stretches across the heavens like a cosmic river. You feel an overwhelming sense of awe and connection. You realize the vastness of the universe and your place within it. You feel pure love, not directed at anyone, but just a state of being. You see the interconnectedness of every star, every planet, every atom. Your own body hums with this universal energy. You feel the divine spark within you. This is illumination. It's a state of pure awareness. This is where your intuition becomes incredibly powerful. You can sense things before they happen. You know what people are thinking and feeling. You operate with effortless grace. Remember that detail about the purges in Stage 2? Now you understand why. They cleared the way for this light. Your body already knows this truth. It's vibrating at a higher frequency. A documented case that touches on this is the work of Dr. Stanislav Grof. He pioneered transpersonal psychology. He documented thousands of sessions using LSD-assisted psychotherapy in the 1960s and 70s, particularly at the Maryland Psychiatric Research Center. Many participants reported experiences of ego death, cosmic consciousness, and profound spiritual insights. They described feeling connected to all of humanity and the universe. While controversial, these studies point to the potential of altered states of consciousness to reveal deeper truths about our existence. These experiences were often described as illuminations. They saw the underlying unity. This stage is about embodying the divine. It's not just about having an experience. It's about living it. You become a living embodiment of spiritual principles. You understand that you are love. You are peace. You are consciousness. This is the paradigm shift. This changes everything you thought you knew about yourself and your potential. Now, here's the conspiracy element again. They don't want you to know that you have this inherent divine power. If everyone realized they were a co-creator, the old power structures would crumble. They promote a narrative of separation, of powerlessness. They want you to believe you need external saviors. They want to keep you in the dark about your own illumination. This information was almost lost. This is where you start to understand the why behind everything. Why things happen the way they do. You see the divine plan unfolding. You see the lessons in every experience. You realize that every challenge was an opportunity for growth. You've transcended the need for struggle. You operate from a place of flow. Let's talk about the practical application. 3 steps to move towards this stage. First, cultivate radical self-acceptance. Embrace your light and your shadow. Second, practice mindful presence. Be fully in each moment. Observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Third, engage in acts of selfless service. Give your gifts to the world without expectation. These are the practical steps. But what happens if you resist this stage? You might experience spiritual bypassing. You pretend to be enlightened without doing the inner work. You might become judgmental of others. You might feel disconnected from your true self. This is the danger of seeking only the bliss without the process. Stage 5 is the final stage, and it's not really a destination but a way of being. It's called the transcendence, or sometimes the embodiment. Here, you live in constant connection with the divine. Your life becomes a sacred dance. You are fully integrated. You are a conscious co-creator. You operate with wisdom, compassion, and unconditional love. Your presence alone can shift the energy of a room. Imagine you're in your own home, maybe a quiet study filled with natural light. You're simply being. You're not trying to do anything, you're not seeking anything. You are fully present. You feel the universal energy flowing through you, around you, as you. You can manifest with ease. Your actions are guided by divine intelligence. You understand that you are an expression of the divine. You see the world through eyes of pure love. You feel the oneness of all existence in every breath. This is transcendence. It's a state of being, not doing. This is where your body already knows this. It's operating at its highest potential. Your mind is clear. Your heart is open. You are free from the limitations of the ego. You have achieved a state of inner peace that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. This is the ultimate revelation. The truth they don't want you to know is that this state is accessible to everyone. It's not reserved for a select few. It's your birthright. You have been living in a simulation of limitation. The veil is lifting, and you are waking up to your true divine nature. Let's consider the final story. A woman named Anya Petrova lived in a remote village in Siberia. The year was 1955. She was known for her profound intuition and her healing abilities. People traveled for miles to seek her wisdom. One winter, a severe blizzard trapped the village for weeks. Supplies ran low. Fear set in. Anya, however, remained calm. She gathered the villagers. She taught them simple breathing exercises. She guided them in collective meditation. She shared stories of resilience. She radiated a powerful sense of peace. People felt nourished by her presence alone. The villagers later spoke of how Anya's inner strength and unwavering faith seemed to manifest a protective aura around them. They survived the ordeal not just physically but spiritually uplifted. Anya was living embodiment of stage 5. This is the aha moment, when you realize you are not just a passenger in life. You are the driver. You are the creator. You can choose your reality. You can choose love. You can choose consciousness. So what are the practical takeaways? 3 steps to help you navigate these stages. First, commit to the journey. Understand that it's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Second, cultivate self-compassion. Be kind to yourself during the difficult phases. You're doing the most important work imaginable. Third, seek community. Connect with others who are on a similar path. Support each other. Sharing the journey makes it less lonely. If you're still watching, you've likely felt the call. You're sensing something deeper. You're part of the awakening. You're not crazy for thinking these things. Most people have no idea how much potential lies within them. They quit at stage 3 because they haven't been shown how to integrate. They haven't been given the tools. The implications are profound. Your spiritual awakening is not just about personal growth. It's about the evolution of consciousness itself. You are a vital part of this global shift. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. This changes everything. So what happens after stage 5? Is there even more? If you think that's incredible, wait until you discover the secrets of conscious manifestation and how to harness the power of your thoughts to create your reality.